Welcome to the Big Cats Women's Program 30th Anniversary Podcast. I'm your host Simone Wern, and over the next few episodes we'll be celebrating 30 years of women's baseball at the Springvale Lions Baseball Club. Join us as we share the stories and the moments that have helped shape our program and make it what it is today. This week for episode 9 we're joined by Neen. Neen, as she's best known, played her first season back in 09-10 as part of the Springvale Berwick Division 1 Premiership team. She's gone on over many years to play a critical role in all three teams across her 16 years in the program. So come along and celebrate what has been a great 30 years full of memories and laughs. Let's get into it. All right. Good morning, Neen. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you, Wig?
It's been a long morning. I'm so sorry. You've been sitting here for half an hour, a bit longer, but I appreciate you coming in. And for those who don't know, Holmes Glen represent. You're a Holmes Glen lady like me. It's really nice to have you in here. We haven't caught up for a while. We've sort of been texting a little bit, but it's good to see you in person, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you. I don't know if you've seen a lot of the podcasts. I sort of said, do you know what you're in for? And you said no, not really, but you're willing to tell all. And that's why you're here.
Ooh.
Tell us all the good stories.
Sounds ominous.
Well, look, it's episode 9. So we've had eight episodes so far, and this one is titled Neen. Because, and you're a bit like, Madonna. You only need one name. So Neen is what we've called this episode. You're a really interesting story. And one of the reasons I wanted you to come in was to tell people your story, because a lot of people wouldn't know. So you've been at the club now for over 15 years.
Yes, I
have. And you arrived at the club, and we're going to talk about the start. You arrived for a very important moment.
Yes.
And it was to win a Division 1 premiership. Tell us about it.
Certainly was. Oh, it was brilliant. I came when there was a lot of great players at Springvale, brilliant players, and the club had decided to branch out a bit, introduce women's baseball down to Berwick, and try and get a Berwick-Springvale team together and a Springvale team. And yeah, it was really nice to be asked to go down to join the Berwick-Springvale team and play with yourself and Huffy and Shay, Barkey, some of the other girls, Rosa Guardiani, haven't seen her in a long time, Cash Shelverton, gosh. And that was just brilliant. Trainings with the egg.
That'll come up later.
Oh yes, it was. We got so close.
You and Huffy.
Yeah.
You've talked about how cool it was, and it's a great intro into our chat. But you came from Chelsea, and a few of our guests have come from Chelsea. So we've had Shay in talking to Shay about her coming from Chelsea. Mandy, we heard from Chevy, who spent some time at Chelsea. We want to talk to Cass at some point. So talk us through the year. I mean, you had some great times at Chelsea before you moved over to Springy. But what was it like coming to another club? Because you'd spent a lot of time, obviously, with the Dolphins. But
spent about 9 years there, and it was hard to move, but I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to grow, and I wanted to get better. And to do that, I needed to have a change of club, and haven't looked back. I've learnt so much. I'd played in one VPBL side before I came over, but I've played in 2 other white teams since then at my age. So, I'm not doing too bad. I didn't start baseball until I was 27, so had a bit of a journey. But yeah, I came there to learn, and that's what I did. Learn from the best. It's been a brilliant journey. I remember playing with Shay when she was 13 and playing under Ange Ewan's name. We played at Footscray. So, yeah, good times.
Yeah,
good
awesome.
Times.
And that's one thing that I love about you, is that you still something we have in common is that you still turn up and you're still trying to figure out how you can be better, and you know that there's still things to work on, and that work ethic, particularly I think from the older players, is something great about our culture, is that the younger players and some of the older players who come into the club can see that, and they want to do the same thing. They want to, they go, they're not in their teens or their 20s or even their 30s or maybe their 40s, but they're still working hard and they're still doing stuff to get better. Like, is that part of it? Do you ever think about that part of it, or is it just you trying to get better? Do you think about the people you might be a role model for, or...?
I try to be a role model for other people. I try to, as I always get to training early, try to encourage others to come there. I'll help them work on something. Like, I'm no expert, but I can hit people fly balls, or I can show people, you know, technically how to catch one. But, you know, it's practice and it's determination and it's effort. And if you put in all of those things, you know, you get results. You know, it can take years, but you get there eventually. Finally, something clicks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today. My agenda here. So we're going to talk about all three. We're going to talk about your family connection and how cool it's been to play with your two kids. I say three, but he's off in the distance, Luke. Yes. So we're not going to talk about him now. Hi, Luke. Shout out to you. We still love you. We're going to talk about a bit about off the field and some experiences, what the club means to you, and then I'm going to bring up a few photo memories to try and jog your memory.
Oh, gosh.
I've been trawling through your Facebook. There's some good shots on there. And you're old like me, so we've got limited photos, but the ones we've got are pretty amusing and entertaining.
I will just turn my phone on to silent. Sorry
That's
about
a good idea. But I wanted to start with all three because I don't know if you know this, but you are in the history books. You and I are the only two players, I believe, and I went through my memory bank last night to see if maybe Mandy was the other one, but Mandy hasn't been on the field playing in a Division 2 premiership. You and I have. We've won Division 1, 2 and 3 premierships at the club, and we're the only two players to do it. Did you know that? I
had no idea, but yes, I am very
aware
of that.
There you go. Welcome to the 3 Division Hall of Fame. I don't know what it is, but we're members. This photo obviously is from one of those premierships. You've won quite a few premierships, but this one obviously was special because Lily had come up to play seniors. Yes. We had a few of the kids in that team. Gab, obviously, H.E. and Lil. And we can see little Riser up the back there. And we've got Riser coming onto the pod in a couple of weeks, which will be cool to get his perspective.
Yeah.
But how fun was that? I was coaching that team, and it was just a fun season. But how fun was it for you to play with Lily and to see those kids come up? And
oh, my gosh. From then to now, my goodness. It was such a great experience to play with Lily and to be the first person catching her pitching. And, like, it was so, so good. Absolutely brilliant memories. And I've got that giant poster at home.
That's so cool.
And we sent a photo of it to Ryan too.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So he could have a look at that. But, like, yeah, H.E., Gab, Lil, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. And it's been brilliant watching them grow, especially Lil, because she's my daughter, but seeing how far she's come in her mindset and her work ethic and the way she approaches the game now is just, it's just really good.
Yeah, awesome.
Really, really good.
Awesome. That's one of my favourite photos. This is one of the other teams that you were involved in. So this was the season after the Berwick Springvale team that you were part of.
Yes.
So this was the Pumas. So we still had two teams, but they were both Springvale. Do you have many memories from? I mean, those were your first 2 years. So you came to the club, and you won 2 Division 1 premierships. Hello.
And I was in the team the following year for another one.
And you were playing. I mean, you played amongst some of the greats. I mean, that Berwick Springvale team and this team with Rissa, who just coached Team Japan to a 7th straight World Championship.
No, there was brilliant. Rissa taught me how to hit a curveball. She taught me how to hit her slider. So, yeah, very, very good. It was brilliant having her on the team.
Yeah.
My gosh, she's such a genuine, lovely person, but so much baseball knowledge and so willing to share it and, like, just help anybody out. No, it was brilliant. The sessions we'd have in hitting, and she'd just throw curveball after curveball after curveball or slider. And, you know, it made it less daunting to go up for an at-bat when you've got one of the best pitchers in the world training you how to hit these pitches. So it was really good.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I love that looking back on I posted a photo the other day that Kate Soda sent me, and that it was all 5 of the big cats from the World Cup in Canada. And I was thinking exactly what you said, like such great knowledge of the game, but ultimately just great people and lovely people to have around the club. And, you know, just a lot of the memories are not baseball. They're just hanging out, or they're at training, or they're helping with a drill, or like just fun.
Midnight ground balls.
Midnight ground. Oh God, we need to bring them forward. I'm trying to. This is another one, and so they're all different, right? And we talked about this on one of the pods. It might have been with the kids, and that's coming out this week actually. But Mad Dog, shout out to Mad Dog, got up at the start and did this big inspirational 5-minute speech, and basically said, you play in a lot of teams, but there's this team, there'll only be this team today. Next year there'll be different, and this rings really true to you because you played with so many different players in so many different teams, Division 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah. But
this one was a big one, and we beat Footscray out at Essendon. What are your memories of this game? So this is Sloane, you can see they're still playing in the team there, and this is the year before Lil ended up travelling over to Europe and didn't play the next year, and so Sloane moved into the ones. What are your memories of this?
This was another great year. We had a lot of new faces to the club and new people coming into play, but they were so enthusiastic to learn and keen to pick up on the knowledge of others, and they trained really hard, really worked really hard. And look, by the end of the season, we had come together and we'd gelled as a team, which is why we won a flag. But the journey to get there, it's hard to throw a new bunch of people together, get them to gel, get them to understand the game when they're brand new coming in. Baseball's a complex game. It looks nice and easy, but it's actually quite a complex game. And just watching them grow, get to the end, and we come out with another win. Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a bit blurry.
Oh, this is the one where the hailstones.
This was the this was the year that famously Chevy finished pitching, and you guys won the Div 2 flag, and you beat Waverley, who was sort of they were the Div 2 team.
Yeah, Mick had me at centrefield this game.
Yep.
Mick had me
at centrefield.
You were in
centrefield, and Chevy talked about that in her podcast, how she came in and you'd gone to centrefield and the first hitter hit one out there and you caught it. And anyway, you won, but this was a big...
That was a tough game.
Yeah.
That was a really tough game. And I was petrified. Mick sent him out to centrefield. I was petrified. I thought, I've got to catch it or it's going to be all over. This was Mick in his heyday of being Mick. Not the lovely Mick we have now, who's mellowed over the years.
I love it. This is, I think, one of the most famous premierships we've ever won at the club, and extra innings against Waverley.
And nobody expected us to win.
No,
nobody at all.
Certainly with Chevy pitching.
They expected Waverley just to walk all over us.
They did.
Yeah, but that's that little surprise of bringing somebody like Chevy into pitch.
I know. It was a surprise, but I don't think Mick had too many choices either.
No, probably not.
You were probably next. The family affair.
My babies.
Talk to me about your babe. Talk to me about your kids. I mean, you've lived the dream, really, because as a parent, and obviously I have a little boy now, but as a parent, how much fun has it been for you to get to be on the field with your kids?
Look, it is so good. It is so, so good. This year we'd won the Division 1 and Division 2 Premierships, and we're out at Essendon to play those. Mm-hmm. This was so good. This was just absolute magic. I'm not sure if was this the year that Bree came in and helped out in the ones one game as well.
I'm coming to that later.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
No, okay, but no, it was brilliant playing with Bree. She lacks a lot of confidence, but is very confidence driven, and her baseball improved. Mm-hmm. And then we had Lily, who was, she just goes from strength to strength. But no, this was the most memorable year, being able to just play with both of my girls.
It's a good photo.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This is from that very first season, and you've already talked like proudly about Lil's development, and you know, and for the people who are listening to this, you know, obviously Lil's gone on to play men's at another club for obvious reasons, and we totally support what she's doing and where she's going. But she's played juniors. You know, she played some T-ball and stuff at Waverley, but since she's been in Little League and under 14s and all those things, she played at Springy. She's been a Springy girl. Springy girl all her life. I still tell her she's got red and blue blood in her veins.
She does.
And she's a big cat for life. But talk to me about the pride that you see when you see, obviously, first-time Emeralds representative last year at the qualifiers in Canada. What's it been like to sort of be on the journey with her?
Oh, look, it's been absolutely amazing. Look, when she was young and we used to throw a ball, she'd get out to centre field and she'd throw it to me at home plate from centre field, and I'd just...
You were happy and annoyed?
Really pleased, but really going, what's wrong with... my arm will never be like that.
Where'd she get those jeans? Is she mine?
Yeah, I think those ones came from Neil.
I've seen him play, I don't think so. Love you, Neil.
Yeah, no. The journey's been amazing, just to watch her develop and watch her grow, and getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the Emeralds games and seeing how she's developed, and not really getting the full opportunity in the Emeralds team because of her injuries that she went with. So, but when she did play, I mean, I think she went 5 from 7, which brilliant. And some of those hits were massive, massive. And I know she looks at it and she goes, oh, but I made this mistake and I didn't do this well, and I struck out here, or things like that. So she's always looking to improve. But her journey has been one of, it's been a very long one. She's always played juniors. She played up until under 18s, and I think that really helped her as well, still hanging out, still playing with the boys, getting that I don't know, quality game. I mean, it's not that it's not quality in Division 1 women's, but it's very different to playing with the boys and getting those faster pitches and getting sometimes a little bit faster play, which is what she's getting now in the Div 1 in the men's when she plays in the ones or in the seconds with that. And I think that's helped her build and grow. And even when she went to the UK, she played baseball over there. She played baseball for... University of East Anglia, and loved that experience, playing in the mud fields.
I have seen, she showed me photos of that.
Yes.
Very cool, Neen, very cool story, and we obviously all, as Springy people, still follow Lil's journey and are supporting her. This is, again, the photo on the hill is great, but this is obviously the premiership photo, but you can see the 3 kids down the front.
And look how excited they are. They just look amazing.
Yeah,
and then you got the oldies. Yeah, Susie there.
It was a good little crew.
Would have been in. Yeah, Robsy's up there. Look, Gab.
It was a good little crew of players and a really fun season. This this is obviously, so you mentioned it a little bit before, but this is a cool story. So for the listeners who aren't aware, and you sort of touched on it before, but we had an import out, Ayumi, a few years ago, and she had been playing third base all season. She led the RBIs that year. She won the club RBI trophy, I believe. One of the top hitters in the league, and she did her ACL in the semi-final game, and it was, I think, the 6th inning she did it, and she had to come out. And we didn't have anyone on the bench, and we were looking around going, well, who can we bring in a 9th player? And the thirds had played in the morning, but Bree didn't get on the field. Mandy had a few coronas, I think, so she couldn't come in. And we sort of said, well, Bree, what do you think? And she went, yeah, all right. I'm not sure she was too thrilled at first, but then I think she just did it. And she drew a walk, and she got to first. And she helped, ultimately, we ended up winning the grand final. So she sat on the bench in the grand final, and she got a premiership medal, and this is her with Lil after we won that game. But I think that's a cool memory. And as a parent, obviously, you know, Bree's doing other things and is less focused on baseball, but it must be cool to have seen her in that moment and to see her enjoy it so much.
Look, it was brilliant. And you can see how happy she is there.
That's her normal photo face, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love you, Bree.
Yes, we do. We do.
I wanted just to show this one quickly. This is just another, I say random team. They're all really important memories. But this was you and Bree and Lil down the front.
Yeah.
I just love
My
it.
little babies.
Like, look how tiny they are. My goodness. Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've been at the club a long time.
Look
They were little when we got there.
Lil.
Yeah.
Oh, Lil.
With her springy hat on.
I just love it. It's a good photo.
Yeah.
I had to bring it up. Off the field, you've had some cool opportunities, and I say cool opportunities, but the club is super thankful, and we're hoping you're about to do it again. You've had imports come and stay. You've, even last year with Sour Gummy, you were taking her to the beach. You had her over for Barbies. You were picking her up and driving her around. But what's that been like for you and your family to have that cultural experience and to have different people in and around, particularly with the kids? Like, it must be really fun for you and Neil to have that.
Yeah, look, it was great when Rena came to us. She could say hello. She couldn't really say anything else. So we had to teach her very early on to say, stop, I don't like it. Because the girls were just so annoying her all the time. And you can see, and she didn't want to say anything. She just smiled. She was only like, I think she was only about 18.
Yeah, she was a kid.
Only a baby.
Yeah.
And, well, she looks like she's 12.
She does. She was an adult, though.
Yeah, but, yeah, she stayed with us, and we had the best experience and the best time with her. She could speak a lot more English when she left. But
Yeah, awesome.
she always, when she would say stop, go away, she'd put her hand up and go, stop, go away,
Leave
I
me
don't like
alone.
it.
Stop hassling me, children. And that's
Yuki.
you guys with Yuki.
Yeah.
But you've really taken and this is a really important part of what we do, because we sit here on all these podcasts and talk about these great imports. But if it's not for the people like you and Neil and Mandy and Shay and Minnie and Trav and Shirl and Benny are about to do it too, for the people who go out of their way to look after the imports and take them in, give them somewhere to sleep, help them, cook them dinner, take them out sightseeing. Like, they're the important things, and that's why it works. So,
Well, we're still in touch with Rena now.
mm.
She's still asking, she's still saying, Mum, when are you coming over? When are you coming to Japan, Mum?
Yeah,
when are you
that's
coming
so
to visit?
cool. So you've got a place to go when you
Oh, yes,
go
I do.
over there.
Yes, I do. Oh, Lordy.
Had to bring this one
Go
up.
Madonna.
This is, I mean, you're Neen. You're the Madonna of the Springvale Baseball Club, apparently. So I had to bring up this one. But, you and Lil have always been big supporters of all the off-field stuff we've done.
Yeah.
But For you and the people listening, like, how important's the off-field stuff been for you in the fact that it's not just all about baseball, it's been about creating connections
family
and memories
and team and memories, and it's about creating a community that works together on and off the field. It's not just about all the stuff we do on the field, it's about making connections with people and supporting the club. The club is there and supports us, so we need to give back. We give back by going to these events and participating in all of the external things that happen where we can. So it's been really good.
Texting a colleague who's at work, because we're in my workplace. But no, I think that's super important. And I think the longer you're here, when I say here, the longer you're at the club, the more you realise that it's so much more than the sport. It's about your friends. It's about a family. It's about the people who make it such a cool place to go. And if it wasn't, you wouldn't be there for 15 years or more and keep turning up, right?
No, well, certainly not.
Keep turning up to training, keep turning up to work harder,
Yeah.
keep turning up to get injured. And I've only pulled up one injury photo here.
Hey, I did that one at home.
This was an ankle injury, and this was the one that was the least gory, because I didn't want to scare the viewers with the images. But
did you not see it? Did you like the other ones?
No. Can you give everyone a quick rundown of the key? I mean, you've just spent, for someone who's been so injured, I must say, you're bloody committed because you just keep playing.
Yeah. That's what life's about.
What are the worst injuries you've had at baseball? Like, just give us a couple of them.
Finger injuries. So we can see my finger doesn't bend. That was being hit on in warm-up. Another warm-up injury in warm-up. And then pulling it back into place because it had dislocated, and then playing for another 2 months, men's and women's at Springy, holding the bat like this, throwing a change-up, three-finger change-up to get the ball out, and then deciding at the end of the season I can go and get it fixed now. But they couldn't fix it. They had to fuse my knuckle together.
Oh, God.
That one. Shoulder, they thought I had a slap tear, but ended up being bone spurs, but that was quite horrific. That's what I got smacked in the face at Bendigo in warm-up.
We've talked about that story before.
Yeah, in warm-up.
We turned up in our bus and saw that. To be fair, though, you've done so well. I know you're battling a couple of injuries at the moment, but you've actually done so well to continue going.
Yeah.
The club, I know it means a lot to you, and
Yeah.
you've sort of already talked about it, but what is the club to you?
Family. It's family. It is... Look, I love to train, and I love to train because not only because it helps me get better, but it helps you remove all of the stresses and pressures and everything else that happens externally. I can go there. I know I can just go and get my stuff done. I know there's people there to talk to if I need somebody just to have a little chat to or a word to. And I don't have that anywhere else. I don't really want it anywhere else, to be perfectly honest. Bree will tell you, I don't like people.
I feel like a lot of us at the club have a similar view, so we go to the club and get our people fixed and then go home.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But here, my God, look at that photo. Like, look at those beautiful people in that photo. There are so many there that are they're just amazing human beings.
It's a good photo, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the different personalities and, you know, the different types. You played a lot in the men's as well, which I know has been an important thing for you because you love the competitiveness of the game. Yeah. Even as you're getting older, you still love it. In fact, you probably love it more now because you're trying to battle, you know, father time, and you still want to play. And but you've provided such a great, consistent voice and a consistency across the men's and women's programs, and I know the men love having you around. But what's it been like to be sort of welcomed into that fold as well? Because you've been in the men's teams for a long time as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it there. It's helping out new people again. Like last season, we had a lot of new players come in, which is brilliant. You know, it's absolutely brilliant, and we won last year, which is also quite brilliant. So, but it's just good. Like I like going up and hitting with wood, and I like the different sort of gameplay. I think I played every position last year. I did actually play every position last year in the men's team, which again, good fun. It's nice to just turn up and not know where you're going to be. Just, okay, you're here today, or can you do this? Or, okay, you caught yesterday, but can you catch again today? And yeah, why not? Just fun. It's just fun. And they are a brilliant group of guys to play baseball with.
Yeah.
You know, you go there, you rock up, go out, you warm up, you just have a good time. And that's why I continue to play men's and women's, because like it's just such a fun time.
Yeah, I can see that when I turn up and I see you. Like you, and again, you wouldn't keep turning up if you didn't enjoy it. But it's cool to reflect and look back on that.
Yeah.
I don't think like I've known you a long time, but I don't see you happier. And obviously, I'm here at work, so you're probably not going to smile like that at work. But you there's a glow about you when you're at baseball. And particularly when you've got your catcher's gear on and when you're, you know, in a lot of the teams I've coached you in, but you just love the game. Do you still love it as much as you did, or?
Oh, probably more now. Probably more. I just love playing. I love catching. You know I love catching. It's just something to look forward to. Do you know what I mean? Like have shit days at work and stuff like that, but you look forward to finishing, going to training, going to play, going to be around like-minded people. Yeah, it's just brilliant. And I'm going to miss this season.
You'll be there in spirit.
I know, I'll be there in person.
Well, you'll be there in person, probably yelling at us. What are you doing that for?
Base coaching.
This is when Deb retired.
Yep.
And just talking about the family. But I like this photo because, again, it's, you know, the different types of people that turn up. But ultimately you're there because you love the game and you love being around the club. But I thought this was a cool one to...
Oh, my God, I'm wearing chippers.
Yep.
Wow.
That was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
I found a couple of photos to reminisce on. And this is one... You talked about this being one of your favourite days. But you've had, I want to say, the absolute pleasure of having me as a coach for a long time.
Yes, I have.
What's that been like for you? I asked Hannah about this a couple of weeks ago. But what's that relationship been like? You know, you sort of turned up, we didn't really know each other, coach, we sort of became mates. How's that been for you over the journey?
It's been good. I think I used to find it quite daunting playing with you and playing with Shay and Huffy, and even when I went to Division 2, then I'm playing with Kel Wolf and Chevy and I can't think of her name, but I can see her face. Anyway, so many people. No, it's been really good, and I think we've built a relationship and a friendship now, but you know it's taken a few years to develop, and it does because you know you've got to get to know people and trust them and things like that. And even as a coach, you've got to trust your coach. You've got to trust what they're doing. You've got to trust the decisions that they make and where they put you and things like that. And you know I'm always the person that goes, yeah, just put me anywhere. I'm happy. I'll just go wherever the team needs me, and that's part of being in a team sport. You don't always get to play the position that you love. You go and do what's best for the other 8 people that are on that field. It's not just about you, which is why I love team sports and why I've loved being at Springy. It's given me an opportunity to play everywhere, really.
Yeah, it has. You're welcome. Most of the time you say it's fine. Sometimes you're like, Wig, what am I doing that for? But then you listen
as soon as you explain what your thinking is behind it, they go, oh, okay.
Which is one of the reasons that you're so well respected, I think. This is the infamous egg incident. And for those who don't know what we're talking about here, this was the Berwick Springvale season, and we had an egg throwing. We do this most years, an egg throwing session where we had a competition. You and Huffy were partnered.
Yes.
I thought you were going to win.
We should have won.
But you
until
didn't
that one
win
splattered.
because the egg splattered everywhere, and there is a photo of the egg.
Somebody gave me a dodgy egg.
Might have been me. No.
Yeah, gave me a cracked one for the end. Didn't want us to win.
And I love that you still remember that. So that's
I do.
basically 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But we still do egg throwing to this day. Soft hands.
Yeah,
everyone.
no, it's a great drill. It is a great drill for soft hands.
Oh,
and I think we were nearly at a base path.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you were beyond it.
Yeah.
And that's why you smashed it all over yourself.
Oh, I loved our awards.
This
That was so...
is one of my favourite photos, and I took this photo on my phone however long ago, which is a pretty impressive because I don't even know what type of phone that was. But anyway, I made these trophies because the game had been pushed back due to the grand final day being a washout.
Yeah.
With the hail, and we've talked about the hail a few times.
God.
The game was moved forward. It happened to be that the game would be played on presentation night for Berwick because we were Berwick Springvale. So we went to 2 presentation nights. The Berwick one was that night. Much to my dismay or annoyance, we turned up and Berwick hadn't made any trophies because they assumed Springvale would make trophies. Anyway, I decided I'd have to make my own trophies.
Could be more fitting. We all drank
As a really
Corona.
intelligent lady, I decided to scull 3 Coronas and use the bottles as trophies. And you won one of those trophies. Do you remember this night?
Yes, I got the encouragement award. I was stunned.
So your trophy is on the right. Do you still have it?
Spang a 9. Yes,
Where's
I do.
the trophy? Or did you throw it in the
It is in a cupboard at home.
Oh, yes.
Where I still have it.
One day I'm going to come to your house and... Yeah. I bet.
I don't think I ever washed the inside of it.
No, you probably should have. You could probably still do that. Yeah. But that's one of my favourite photos. I love that one. These are a couple from the... This is... I don't want you to go into too much detail here because I don't want us to touch on anything and sort of look negatively. But this was difficult. We had 2 teams ended up in Division 1.
Yeah.
Out of our control. There wasn't really much we could do. You really sort of had to battle that year because the team didn't win, obviously, after we split into Div 1. Didn't win a lot of games. It was frustrating. It was, there was a lot of errors. You weren't scoring a lot of runs. Like, how hard was that for you to sort of battle through that?
Look, it's hard, but you've got to take on the challenge, though, as well. Like, I looked at it as a learning experience to go up and play at a higher level and get better. Mm-hmm. So take it as a challenge. It's hard to lose, most weeks, probably every week. But it's also good when you have those really special moments in games where people do things that they don't realise they're capable of doing. Yeah. Or they make that great play. Or there's a double play, or they get that hit off of that pitcher that they were terrified of. Mm-hmm. So it's the moments that you draw from that.
Yeah,
they're the moments that I think about. I don't think about the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Is this your favourite memory, or is this where does that first year rank as far as your memories of?
It was one of my favourite years. Spanger 9. It was a Spanger 9. One of my favourite
you literally
plays.
were right field in 9. Yeah.
One of my favourite plays was at Doncaster when we knocked him out, and I caught the ball in right field, and the runner thought, I'm going to go from first to home, and I threw it to Huffy, and Huffy got her out.
My favourite game.
That was just, I was so excited. That was our winning play. Got ya?
Yeah, that's my favourite game, I think, in the history of my time. And I've played a lot of games, but that game, beating them at Doncaster.
Oh, that was so good.
I'll never forget that
because They thought they were just an absolute shoo-in. We're going to trounce us. They looked at our players, and they've just gone, "Nah, you're nothing. We've got you." And they thought I had no arm, and really, I didn't have much of an arm, but I don't know what pulled out of nowhere, but managed to get Huffy on a bounce, and she got that out. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Great memory. I'll have to ask Huffy about that memory when she comes in.
My next best memory, though, is catching Hannah on the fence in the grand final.
Don't talk to me about this, because I'm going to ask you about your favourite memory.
Okay, sorry.
So tell me. And we've got 30 and 5, and you've got 5 minutes because you're going to be late to your...
It doesn't start till 9:30.
Oh, good. So we've got time.
Yeah.
30 and 5. I'm going to quiz you on a few memories. Your favourite on-field memory. Tell us now.
Catching Hannah on the fence in the grand final. Berwick Springvale v Springvale at right field.
Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. Love you, but that was brilliant. That was so good.
She hit a few balls to the fence too.
Yes, she did. That's why I was standing on it.
That's good coaching, thanks. That's a very good memory, and I do remember that. I remember a lot about that game, a lot of moments that happened and things that... So we got off to a flying start, and then it got sort of tight, but somehow we...
I also remember getting the most rubbish hit, but it was green. Whoops.
It always happens. Just jump up, and if you just press the light button. If there's no frickin' action in here, the lights go off.
Oh, yeah.
It's very annoying.
Huzzah! Oh, yeah, getting a rubbish little hit off of Cat.
Hang on, stop talking, because I'm going to have to edit that. So we'll start. Library should be able to help. We'll come over. I will come over shortly.
Or was it Vic? Might have been Vic throwing. I don't know if it was Vic or Cat throwing.
Which game?
The grand final.
Grand final at Springy Berwick.
Yeah.
So Vic had started.
Then it was Vic that I got the hit off.
Yeah,
she was
Vic
so annoyed.
Started, and then maybe Ella came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Off-field memory. Is there an off-field moment or something that happened that you remember that?
Oh, you're testing me now. Oh, yes. Okay, off-field memory. This will go back to Berwick Springvale as well, where we had our team bonding night at the Huffs in the spa.
Oh, my God, I remember that.
Karaoke night.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is my
I don't know if you remember this, and this
will
be an interesting story for those listening, but Rissa was obviously there, and she had to pitch the next day. So she was in the hot tub, but she didn't want to get her hand. She didn't want her hand to be all funny from the water, and she had to pitch. So she sat in the spa with one hand out. Do you remember that? I was just like, what? Just put your hand in. She's like, oh no, my hand needs to be ready to, I need to be able to feel the seams, and it's like, right. Each to their own. Look, she helped us win, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, I know, it was blinder.
I'm all for it. I remember that spa night. That was great fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Huffy, too.
Yes.
Do you have a favourite teammate? You've played with a billion different players, but is there a favourite one or two that stands out for you?
I don't think I have any favourites because I've played with so many people and so many people bring so many different qualities and learning experiences and just experiences on and off the field that I couldn't pinpoint any favourites because there's just been so many different people that I've played with. One of the happiest people I've played with is probably Barky. Just, she was just, like world of her own, and always took the time to come and say hello to me, like when she was down for, and coming to the club.
Yeah,
so
cool.
She just
had
had the best smile, the best personality, the best sort of
cool
feel about her.
That's a good answer. Best player And I've quizzed a lot of people on this, and it's been a really difficult question because there's so many good players. But is there one or two maybe that stands out as the best you've played with?
Rissa. Barkey, some of those catches she was taking at centrefield were just absolutely amazing. With Lily, definitely with Lily. Like, she's just been brilliant. And it's been really great to catch her over the years, you know. She doesn't rate herself as a pitcher, but she can do it. She can get a job done.
She can do it, yeah.
Just, there's so many. Shay, yourself,
it's hard
Chevy,
to list.
Huffy. You know, there's so many great players out there, you know, that have just taken different roles in different teams, like playing with Chevy and that in the Div 2 side when we sort of came back. That was a brilliant year as well. That was a good year.
Yeah, it was. It was great. Funniest person. Who's been the funniest person at the club for you?
Mick.
Funny when he's yelling at you, or just in general?
Just in general, mate. Just in general. Like, I just think he's hilarious. Like I said, he's mellowed over the years, and, you know, if he didn't make you cry, it's hilarious.
Yeah, he is quite funny.
Some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, like when he's watching a game, or when he's base coaching, or when he's yelling at you.
Yeah. Sometimes
I think he's hilarious,
laugh,
and you've got to laugh at it, because if you don't, you'd be in tears. And I've
Some
seen him.
people have
I've seen him make many a person cry.
Some people have been.
Yeah.
I don't think he's made us cry, but he's made a few
No, he's
others
made a few others cry.
Favourite coach?
Favourite coach?
You've had a few.
Well, I haven't had that many. I had Mick for years. I've had you for years. Mandy. Mandy's been in there as well. Rouser. If you can call him a coach. Love you, Rouser. Love you. Love you. But, yeah.
Does that mean you love us all, or?
No, I love you all. I love you all. I'm not going to pick favourites. I don't pick favourites.
That's a very good answer. That's very diplomatic.
You know, everybody brings their own perspective and their own things, and I've learnt stuff from everybody. So, you know, there can't be anybody in particular that I would rank higher above anybody else as a favourite.
Yeah, that's a good response.
You know, everybody brings something new to the table, and you learn those things.
Yeah, cool. I threw this question in, and this is there and you've already talked about Mick being hilarious, but is there a moment you remember him doing anything like yelling at someone or laughing or getting annoyed, or what? Is there any specific moment that you remember?
Oh, yeah, me trying to go home from third base, and in what world do you think you could run that fast? In what universe do you think you were going to ever be safe?
At least he tells you, how
Oh, yeah, tell you how it is. And you turn around and you go, yeah, I know. My bad. My bad. Stealing third base? What do you think? You had no lead. You know, those things. Those little memorable
isn't it
moments.
Funny how we all hear his voice? Sometimes when I'm on base, I still hear him you run with your eyes. What are you doing? Rah, la, la.
Yeah.
I still hear it. No.
That's okay. He used to make me throw 100 balls up in the air.
Yeah.
While
That's
practice.
come up a few times
Yeah.
with some people too.
100 balls that way. Then throw it up, run back, catch. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Practice that drop step.
We love you, Mick. We
do.
talk about you affectionately, even though he's asked for his right to reply. So he's coming on the podcast in a few weeks, and he wants a chance to defend himself. He feels like he's been unjustly put out into the world, but I think we've all been telling great stories about him.
No, they are great stories. He's just Mick.
That's what I think. Well, it'll be interesting to hear from him. Good. I love that answer. It's good to hear actual stories. A big thank you for coming in. We've got a 30th anniversary function coming up in January, the 31st of January, on a Friday night, you will be there. Lily will be there.
Yes.
And Bree will be there. And we're hoping to get 100. I think at the moment we've got about 45 RSVP. We're going to get 100. I can confirm, this is special news today, that Megumi will be there.
Oh, I love that.
She's
adorable.
extending her trip to the Melbourne tournament, and she will be at that function to help us celebrate as one of the first players. She was in the first Division 1 Premiership team, 2004-2005. She will be there. You will be there. I will be there. And I can't wait to tell more stories and to catch up. But thank you so much. Before we go, is there anything else you wanted to say or share, or just to wrap up?
Listen to your coaches and don't get injured.
Great advice.
Bubble wrap might be a wonderful thing for you one day.
Thanks, Neen. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Okay.
No worries.